Zambia versus Zimbabwe. Capital city: Zambia, Lusaka. Zimbabwe, Harare. National animal: Zambia, African fish eagle. Zimbabwe, sable antelope. Main religion: both countries are predominantly Christians, with the majority of their populations adhering to Christianity. Population: Zambia, 21.9 million. Zimbabwe, 16.9 million. Landmass: Zambia, 752,614 square kilometers. Zimbabwe, 399,757 square kilometers. HDI: Zambia, 0.595. Zimbabwe, 0.598. GINI: Zambia, 51.5. Zimbabwe, 50.3. Life expectancy: Zambia, 65.22 years. Zimbabwe, 62.67 years. Literacy rate: Zambia, 87.5%. Zimbabwe, 90%. Peace index: Zambia, 1.94. Zimbabwe, 2.4. Happiness index: Zambia, 3.5. Zimbabwe, 3.3. Most spoken language: Zambia, Bemba. Zimbabwe, Shona. Official language: Zambia, English. Zimbabwe, English. Internet penetration: Zambia, 33%. Zimbabwe, 38.4%. 5G availability: both countries have 5G connectivity. Access to electricity: Zambia, 51.1%. Zimbabwe, 50.1%. GDP nominal: Zambia, $28.9 billion. Zimbabwe, $38.1 billion. GDP per capita nominal: Zambia, $1,332. Zimbabwe, $2,199. GDP PPP: Zambia, $98.1 billion. Zimbabwe, $93.8 trillion. GDP per capita PPP: Zambia, $4,522. Zimbabwe, $5,407. Foreign exchange: Zambia, $2.8 billion. Zimbabwe, $115.5 million. External debt: Zambia, $13.2 billion. Zimbabwe, $11 billion. Defense budget: Zambia, $0.3 billion. Zimbabwe, $0.5 billion. Military ranking: Zambia, 109th. Zimbabwe, 111th. Total military personnel: Zambia, 16,350. Zimbabwe, 50,800. Active personnel: Zambia, 15,150. Zimbabwe, 29,000. Tanks: Zambia, 35. Zimbabwe, 15. Air Force strength: Zambia, 77. Zimbabwe, 95. Helicopters: Zambia, 32. Zimbabwe, 28. Navy vessels: Zambia, none. Zimbabwe, none. Main export: Zambia, copper. Zimbabwe, precious stones. Main import: Zambia, refined petroleum. Zimbabwe, refined petroleum. Labor force: Zambia, 7.05 million. Zimbabwe, 6.5 million. Merchant marine fleet: Zambia, 2. Zimbabwe, 0. Ports: Zambia, 0. Zimbabwe, 0. Airports: Zambia, 119. Zimbabwe, 144. Roadway: Zambia, 67,000 kilometers. Zimbabwe, 97,000 kilometers. Railway coverage: Zambia, 3,126 kilometers. Zimbabwe, 3,427 kilometers. Waterways: Zambia, 0 kilometers. Zimbabwe, 0 kilometers. Zambia and Zimbabwe are two neighboring countries with a lot in common, yet they show unique strengths in different areas. Zambia has a larger population and landmass, and its people tend to live slightly longer. It is also more peaceful and scores higher on the happiness index. Zambia enjoys a stronger financial position with much higher foreign exchange reserves and lower external debt compared to Zimbabwe. In terms of military hardware, Zambia has more tanks and helicopters, though its overall military size is smaller. On the other hand, Zimbabwe performs better in human development indicators. It has a slightly higher human development index, lower income inequality, and a higher literacy rate. Internet access is also more widespread in Zimbabwe, and it boasts stronger infrastructure with more airports, a more extensive road and railway network, and a larger total military force. Zimbabwe also has a higher GDP both in nominal terms and per capita, suggesting stronger economic output per person. Both countries are predominantly Christian, speak English officially, and have similar levels of electricity access and 5G availability. They share key economic traits too, with refined petroleum being the main import for both. However, their main exports differ. Zambia mainly exports copper, while Zimbabwe is known for exporting precious stones. In short, Zambia stands out in peace, happiness, and financial reserves, while Zimbabwe leads in education, infrastructure, and economic output per person. Each country has its own strengths and challenges, reflecting different national priorities and paths of development.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.